It's been a long time since season 1 finale aired. So what has been the most challenging about putting together a second season that could explore so many different possibilities?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it exactly. We had a wealth of possibilities, and there were sort of an endless number of ways that we knew the story could go. Fortunately, we've always had kind of an endpoint in mind for the show, and so we have always known where eventually we want to get to. But it's I think we were all extremely excited and a little bit surprised that it resonated on the level that it did. And with that comes no small amount of anxiety, because you want to live up to that, and you want to reward people's the faith that they have put in us, and you want to make something that is cool and that replicates it. So I was nervous about that until we started to shoot the scenes and get cuts back. And then pretty quickly I was confident that we had, whatever it is that worked about the first season, we had somehow managed to recapture it.
And about that reward, I think it's a really interesting word in a show like this that has so many mysteries, which makes it always difficult to raise more questions and enigmas while you start to answer some of them. So how was it to find that sweet spot without giving away too much or not enough?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It turns out, as I think anybody who's ever made a mystery show will tell you, it's raising the questions is the easy part, and the hard part is, I think so often we watch something, and once we learn the answer, that we just feel a little bit let down, almost like we still wish that we could go back to not knowing. And that's just the nature of mystery. Like mystery is, it's fun to not know, but at the same time, you have to reward people's patience and reward their curiosity. So there are a lot of tangible answers that you get this season to some of the pressing questions, but the idea is, like, it's like every time you break out of a box, there's a bigger box outside, and now you have to figure out what that box is about and how to get out of it.
Yeah, and this time the bigger box, I think that is the outside world, outside of Lumon. Maybe this season you spend a lot more time outside, or I don't know if more time, but with many more characters.
Yeah.
So how was it to develop more characters, the outies, introducing other characters like Miss Huang to distribute more the attention between all of them?
Yeah, it's tough because you're right. We follow more of our characters on the outside now, which in a way it's like doubling the size of your cast, because you now have to follow each of them on these different stories, and that's a challenge. And then, like you said, we also have new characters, like the one played by Sarah Bach and the one played by Gwendolyn Christie, and all of these exciting, fun new characters. So it's tough, but it's a fun challenge. We like doing it.
And since this interview is going to be released after episode 3, I want to ask you about one of the game-changing moments of the season, which I think that is Mark's reintegration process, which opens even more doors about what could happen in the future. So what can we expect about that twist? Is it possible for both his Ini and his outie to coexist?
Yeah, I think that's the question. And there are challenges in the way of that, some of which are practical, because as we've seen before, reintegration can be very dangerous. It's not something that you can just easily do, and it's risky. At the same time, there are emotional roadblocks in the way, because both Ini and outie Mark sort of have reasons not to trust each other. I think especially Ini Mark, all of the Inis feel to some extent like they were created to be used by their outies. And so I think it raises an interesting question, like not only can you reintegrate, but do you want to?
Yeah, thank you so much, Dan. I want to get that question answered in a couple of months. So thank you so much for for these minutes, and congrats for the show. It's amazing.
Thank you. It's nice talking to you.